Hey, everybody, welcome back to a regular episode of Couch Critics. I say regular episode, I'm just being a smart aleck. Dave and I have been, for those that don't know, behind the curtain, Dave and I at this point in the year have been doing a lot of interviews. So we've been doing extra
irregular is what you're trying to say. Is that,
irregular episodes. But no, we've been having a lot of fun. But now we're back to just our normal shenanigans. The two of us, me, co-host Josh, alongside, as always.
It is me, Dave. Man, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I am really good. I say really good. I am on my second Red Bull, but I am doing good.
Same.
I am doing good. We are not sponsored by Red Bull, which is why we drink them. That's why we drink them out of special cups.
I'm not sponsored by beef either, but Garrett Graham is in my heart at all times.
Always. We love you, Garrett. Come on the show if this ever happens to come across your ears.
We've had a lot of great interviews, some really great guests.
Fantastic interviews this year. I wanted to actually ask you, and I want to any of our listeners, if you have opinions on this, do you like those interviews? And but also, Dave, I know they take a lot out of us because we do have regular jobs and all of that. Do you think that, like, quarterly, we should do a handful of interviews, like a January, April?
I think, and let's go back and remind. You were the one who said we have some people who want to come in and talk to us, and this is early on. Yes. I think Eric Miller, was he our first guest? Or Mel was technically our first guest.
Mel was our first.
She's part of the show, so it's not really the same thing. But
Eric Miller was our first stranger.
And I think, our first new to the show, new to us. And I think I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. I'm interviewing somebody. That's kind of weird. Yeah. But I enjoyed the conversation. He's such a great guy. He's such a wealth of knowledge of film and books and all those things. And so every interview is like, we talked to Boaz Yakin, for Christ's sake.
Sure,
I mean, he's a big deal. We've talked to Jonathan Davies. Or John, as his friends like me call him, like
friends like us. And for those that don't recognize the name off bat, John Davies, the screenwriter of Hobo with a Shotgun,
so Kids versus Aliens and stuff. But writing little novellas that are fantastic. I'm excited to see
quick
more.
reads.
But I know I came dragged kicking and screaming a little bit at the beginning, but I love it. I think, as always, anybody who wants to give us their time and come on and talk to us, quarterly or not, like, we make it work, I mean, we've had some interviews, we've been reaching out. I know you and I both would absolutely love to have Garrett Graham on, of course, or Matthew Lillard.
Right.
We've talked about Devon Sawa, like these people who we look up to for different reasons. And
because there's obviously those. Well, and I would have put Boaz Yakin in that same category, the pie in the sky. Like, these are people that are formative to our tastes. We love Devon Sawa, Idle Hands, things like that. Matthew Lillard, SLC Punk for us. Even to some degree, Scream. Like we were teenagers, so these were foundational pieces to us. But Garrett Graham, our whole lives, I think I was more familiar with him with Used Cars. You actually introduced me to Beef and Phantom of the Paradise.
Great movie.
But those kind of things, I knew Bud the Chud,
Chud,
because who doesn't know Bud the Chud? So we have those plans, but Boaz Yakin, the movie Fresh, was something that I watched. I watched it was an HBO kind of thing. It was on all the time. My brother and I'm trying to get my brother to come on the show, but we loved that movie growing up, watched it all the time. And then somehow, by just having a conversation with Eric Miller, all of a sudden we're sending emails with Boaz Yakin, and then he sits down and talks with us.
In Lawrence Bender's office, by the way.
Just
I never forget that fact. The two powerhouses.
Lawrence Bender's Saturn Award was on the shelf behind Boaz.
Also with Boaz, I tell everybody, Viva, I would never have looked at it. I just wouldn't have known it existed, and it's one of the better movies I've seen in the last years. I really liked it.
And that's the other thing that these interviews have really done for me, is they forced me to watch movies that I maybe never would have heard of, like Aviva, or movies that have been on my watch list forever and I never got around to, like, our interview that would have been just a couple weeks ago now with,
Mildred
Jesse from
Pierce,
Cult
yeah.
Cinema Circle.
Yeah.
Got to, like, we always ask our guests, "Tell me something that you love that you want us to watch."
I think,
I
if you're
love that.
asking me, I love it. I like not always the most social person in the real world, but I like meeting
Neither
new
one.
people. I like talking
Yeah.
film. I like learning
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
I like being introduced to stuff and seeing we have a lot of like-minded people out there. And I think we continue to do our Tuesday show. So I mean, if somebody doesn't like the interviews, which I would imagine that they're crazy because I think they're
'Cause they're a
fantastic,
lot of
but
fun.
all
No, and I
7
think
people are probably
right, all
listening to
7 of
both.
you. No, the reason I ask you though specifically, because you and I are both more introverted on our off hours. We are not going out. We're not life of the party, middle of the room, everybody look at me kind of guys, which is weird being in this space. So I know that the interviews take a lot out of us on a personal level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
But
glad we're doing the interviews on topics we care about,
that's
which
true.
is
Absolutely.
I can talk to anybody about movies. I think the reason I don't talk, I don't have these conversations in my normal life is I haven't found my tribe everywhere out there. Like I work in construction. A lot of those guys, they don't give a shit about movies. Like at least
Mhm.
not like I do. That's for
Right.
sure. So I'm not gonna. There's no
Yeah.
conversation really typically
And
to be
I'm
had there.
I'm I'm not gonna say this. I'm not knocking um combat sports, but in construction, it's gonna be more the MMA guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That and I'm not saying that to knock that because there is a place for it, and I've enjoyed MMA and boxing in my life, and I do enjoy it. I just mean that it is it's a different tribe, like you said.
Yeah.
Um,
Find your
I get
people, and that's what this whole show was about when we're doing these interviews.
yeah.
So anyways,
Yeah,
I like them. They are
right.
they do take a little
So
bit. We've had a lot
yeah, so
recently,
what I
but
I think as the person who runs the social media, I will just sort of have the call always open.
yeah.
But I won't if it's been a while if we go a while without an interview, then I will actively pursue.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'll just let them come to us. I
I
think that's
think
probably
that's
the
fair. But as always, I'd like to see what other people think. So if
yeah, oh,
anybody
yeah,
wants to leave any comments or anything else,
yes,
if you like the interviews or not, it's with some great people,
yeah,
some fun conversations. So to me, they're
absolutely.
good. But
And and I gotta say, I gotta bring it up. If you haven't listened yet, on February 26th, so just about 3 weeks ago from when this airs, February 27th, our interview with Jesse from Cult Cinema Circle dropped,
yeah,
and that dude is so much energy.
yeah,
It was hard to keep up, but it was so
yeah.
freaking much fun.
He's a
Check out
tornado,
that episode if
but it
you
was
haven't.
great. It was
Yeah,
he's a
dude,
super
and
super
but
cool dude. And
similar to us, he is a wealth of knowledge on the films he loves, and he just happens to be someone who has way more crossover with us than a lot of the people we get to talk to because we are so weird in our classic film love.
yeah, yep.
And weird in the good way, like, it's just we're outliers.
Weird's a good word. I don't know if
It is.
it got a negative connotation.
I'm a nerd, and I'm weird, and I love that
We're both
that's
that
who I
way.
am.
What's the
That's who we
difference?
are.
That's why we're doing this right now.
Yes. Alright, so that now that the preamble's out of the way, now that
That's
the
a
pitch
long
is out of the
preamble.
way,
Anywho,
what have we been watching?
I have watched a whole bunch of stuff, but I do have a question for you. I know this is going to be a few weeks down the road or whatever, but did you watch any of there's a show Fallout on Prime? Do you know anything about it? Have you seen any
I
of it?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
It is
Stylish.
it's stylish. I get the love for it. I love Walton Goggins. I am not a gamer, so I'm not invested in that world, and I don't love the fantasy element to it, that fantastical. But yeah, I could appreciate it. It's just not for me.
Okay. I was just curious if you'd seen the
Yeah.
first one. If
Yeah.
you hadn't, I was going to push that on you. By
Yeah,
the way,
I did.
I saw a commercial that are they doing Paranormal Activity, like a live theater production of Paranormal Activity? I saw a commercial for this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I don't know anything more about it than that, but I just saw it shortly before this show, and I just thought I'd ask you because it seems like how could you do that? But I guess you could. It could be cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There is Paranormal Activity live on stage.
Yeah.
It is a thing. They are Chicago and London. They moved from Chicago to London to escape their past, but the places aren't haunted, people are.
Yeah.
All right, good
Just
for them.
curious. But anyways, I did watch some stuff, so I didn't mean to get all sidetracked and all that.
I love sidetrack. I love tangential conversation.
First, I watched pretty much anything pre-code, which is 1930, 1929 to like 1934. Tail end of that, usually 33. But so I always check something out, and there's always something redeeming or okay to watch. They're at least short. I watched one that was really hard to get through, by the way. It was called Captain Applejack. I don't want to talk about it too much. It was a stage play that they adapted. It was really kind of goofy and silly. The performances weren't good. I don't know. Both Mel and I, who like pretty much everything, at least a little bit.
Yeah. Couldn't find that.
No, didn't really work. But anyways, that doesn't matter. I did, by the way, I watched the movie from my childhood, Gleaming the Cube.
Oh,
I hadn't seen it.
I don't care what anybody says. I love that movie. I watched it recently.
Did you really? That's crazy.
In the last 8 months.
That's recent. I hadn't watched it in 40 years, from 1989, right?
Yeah.
So 30, maybe 30 years, something like that. Christian Slater, it's a movie about skateboarders trying to take down an arms dealer. It's insane. Very young Tony Hawk. He looks like he's 12 years old, but he's like 22 in the movie.
Right, yeah.
The very young Tony Hawk is in it, and he's doing most of the skating stunts in a wig, as if he's Christian Slater. So any of that stuff, so you can very obviously see in so many of these crazy tricks, he's doing biscuits and dinner rolls and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is not Christian Slater. And then you're like, oh, that's Tony Hawk. The wig's halfway falling off.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a fun movie. It's got a pretty big cast of people.
Yeah.
I liked it more than I thought I would, because I did actually like the skateboarding, which is very weird.
I enjoy the movie. There is something time capsule-y about it. I love the idea of like I think they're Vietnamese, the Vietnamese video store, and how they're like the arms dealers are trying to use that as a front, and they're
for like a relief fund, anti-communist
the relief fund. It's got some really cool stuff. I can't remember the actor's name, but he plays the main police officer. Love him in Breaking Bad.
Stephen Bauer
from
Scarface.
Love him.
By the way, if you don't know, but Stephen Bauer is a very handsome man. He's classically handsome,
and he looks the same today as he did in this movie.
Yeah, he plays Don Julio in Breaking Bad.
Yes,
he is Manuel in Scarface. Tony Montana's best buddy, or whatever. But it's funny, when watching that movie, I realized that he always looks, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, he always looks like a dumb expression on his face. Always kind of like his tongue's hanging out of his mouth just a little bit, like every single time he looks like an idiot. But again, classically handsome, very, all those things. But I had not watched it in years and years and years. I kind of liked it. I mean, other than that, there's a lot of Pizza Hut promo in it.
It is definitely a Pizza Hut ad. There's a lot of Pizza Hut for sure. I like that they subtly do a little bit of the Asian white relationship stuff, which for that time was still kind of a tricky thing to
89 to be dealing with race in any capacity, and closed-mindedness on either side of that.
So I remember I watched it, like I said, probably 8 months ago, and the only thing I didn't like is when he cuts his hair and tries to go preppy and rides a bike. Other than that, I'm like, just be a skater, bro.
And the skateboards back then had bumpers on them and all that stuff. So all that stuff is goofy to me. But I mean, Tony Hawk's in it. You know what I didn't know is Stacy Peralta is the second AD on that movie.
Yeah, this is where he's making it. This is the beginning of his transition into the film world.
But I mean, he had been doing the Bones Brigade, filming their skate videos, but like actually in Hollywood doing
this is
film.
him. His transition to actually making legit films, not killer skate videos that are just kind of rock videos with skateboarding.
But basically, that's most of. I think he has a second AD. At least on my understanding, he was just really filming the skating. But
Yeah, I'm
again,
sure.
I liked it because I did like a lot of the skateboarding. It's a little, it's the older style a little bit, but it's not like banana board stuff. I don't know.
Right.
I like skaters.
It's not longboarding, but it's just normal. It's street skate, which is funny because
there's some pool work.
I watched a movie from the mid '80s. Because of a conversation we had last week, I watched Thrashin this week.
I was just gonna say that I want to watch that next. How is it? Is it bad?
So freaking terrible, but I love every minute of it. I love Robert Russler as the head of the bad guy gang.
Okay.
Josh Brolin as like the cool kid from the valley coming out to be a skater. But like again, it's the Bones Brigade people are the stunt skaters. They're doing all that. It's got this great punk rock soundtrack. They actually go to a show, a punk rock show, and it is Red Hot Chili Peppers up on the stage. So that's really cool to see.
I don't remember any of that, really.
Young Red Hot Chili Peppers. The actress who plays the love interest, she plays Robert Russler's younger sister and Josh Brolin's love interest. Her name is Pamela Gidley, I think. She's not in anything else that I can think of, but
you know her name.
Okay. I know her name because I looked her up because she's really pretty and she's got a presence, and I'm like, why don't I know her? Why isn't she anything else?
Yeah,
I don't know. She just wasn't. But it's absolutely a ridiculous movie. It's all, but
she decided to go to medical school instead.
Probably.
Like his acting is for the birds.
So Thrashin it's like a 90-minute ad for the magazine.
Yeah.
Thrasher, but it's essentially the same. But that's funny that you were watching that same kind of skateboard though, that had the bumper on the back and the weird, the wide rails. Nose. It's the same. It's funny because I just watched that this week. So
but I liked it, and Tony Hawk is just amazing.
Yeah,
so.
Well, and that's just because we have a foundational love from being of 7-8 years old when Thrashin came out, 10 11 when Gleaming the Cube came out. We are of an age where these are foundational moments. We were already kind of interested in the skate world, though neither of us were skaters.
I've always said watching and hanging out with groups of friends who were all skating, and we'd go to skate parks and I would smoke weed or drink beer or whatever. Like I do those things I shouldn't be doing, but I would watch these kids, man, just like now, they will work at something over and over and over. They will try it for weeks until they get a trick figured out. And then they will keep doing it until they can do it pretty well. Yeah, the thing is that persistence, I think that doesn't exist as much in a lot of other generations. That stick-to-itiveness. Like in the movie Rad, BMX bikers and skaters, especially this era of the foundational, the pre-X Games people, and even the ones that do perform in the X Games, they have a gene about them where, no, I am going to land this trick. I don't care if it takes me 10,000 tries and a couple of hospital visits. I'm going to land this trick. And they do. Shit they do. The shit they do. I'm trying to think. I lose it, but the skater who did one of the longest jumps, he jumped between water towers in LA. It's an insane jump. Yeah. They had to run up. Anyway, I'll find the footage. I'll send it to you. But that idea to say, I'm going to make this happen and then work at it to do something that you would die falling off of these water towers, these water tanks.
Jeremy Ray.
Thank you. Exactly. It's insane. Yeah. It's insane what he did. Anyways, the different story altogether. But so anyways, I did like it.
But but you're right. That's like, well, and sticking to that same time here, I didn't watch this movie, but I remember watching Police Academy 4. And at the beginning of Police Academy of 4 is
David Spade
and the
Tony
other guy,
Hawk.
I don't remember his name. It's actually Tony Hawk and the other guys doing all of the skating. So there's like this 6-minute skateboard sequence that,
because it was popular at the time.
Because it was popular.
And the funny thing is, they couldn't find stuntmen to do this.
No,
Unlike
you had to go get
Hollywood,
these skaters.
Hollywood could say, "Oh, we need somebody who can do horse tricks, or we need somebody who can jump off of a building," and then they would have this plethora of people to choose from who are stuntmen. With something that's an acquired skill like that, they would have to go to the young kids who were doing it and say, "Can you be a stuntman in a movie for us? A stunt kid?
We need someone to do this. You want to come?" Yeah, it's fantastic stuff.
I did watch a couple of things. What else you got on your list?
So when we are recording, we lost the great Catherine O'Hara just before. So I rewatched the original Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Just because there's that movie, I think I understand that Jeffrey Jones is in it. He's problematic, but outside of that, Winona Ryder, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Glenn Shaddix, every bit of it is so stinking funny.
Who plays Otho?
Glenn Shaddix.
That's his name? I don't think I knew his name.
Well, there you go.
You learned Glenn Shaddix, okay.
And then and you've got what's his name? The crooner. I just lost his name. Who plays Jeffrey Jones's buddy from the city, who he's trying to convince to invest in the town. Robert Goulet. That's his name, Robert Goulet.
And her agent is what's wrong with this right now? I just watched him do a whole interview. He did an hour with Mel Brooks, which is a whole nother fantastic thing. What's his Dick Cavett?
Yes, Dick Cavett is her
calls her a flake. You're a flake. You've always been a flake.
Yeah. There's something about Beetlejuice that is just it's the colorful world of Tim Burton. Yeah. The absolutely fantastic comedic timing of specifically Michael Keaton and Catherine O'Hara, because she brings this kind of twisted humor. He brings the sarcasm. I just love, and even Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, who I don't always love Gina Davis. I believe them as a couple in this movie.
She's the weakest part of the movie for me, but
they have a shorthand with each other that seems legitimate to a relationship. Like the way that they give each other their anniversary gifts for their little staycation when they're going to work on the house, and the Mongolian tongue oil or whatever. There's some really cute stuff. I love it. And we both are, I think, fans of Tim Burton's more twisted kind of claymation style that he does.
Yeah, and the blend. It's the large Marge in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Absolutely.
Tell him Large Marge sent you. Yeah, Beetlejuice was also, I saw it in the theater. It was, same. It came out 87, right? So I must have been 9 or 10.
Something like that, yeah.
I was young, but I remember seeing it. And I remember it was, my parents liked it. My sister and I liked it.
Saw it in the theater, and it is the first movie that I ever went on my bike to the video store with my own video card and rented.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a Blockbuster.
You ever return that video, or
I
do you owe like $200,000 in late fees?
Probably. Blockbuster would not have gone.
It.
Blockbuster would not have gone bankrupt and gone out of business if I had just paid my late fees. No, so where I lived in Southern California, there was a Blockbuster video that I could ride my bike to. It was about 1.5 miles from my house. My mom got me my own Blockbuster card on her account. So during the summer, I rode my bike over. I went in. I grabbed Beetlejuice. That was the movie. Movie I was going to rent as my first movie, because I thought that I wasn't allowed to rent R-rated movies. Later found out my mom never put an age restriction on my Blockbuster card. So I ended up watching every
9.5 weeks. And
I went straight Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I went straight Commando, Terminator.
That's what I would have
Raw
done too.
Deal, Red Heat. Like that's where I went.
Yeah.
I want violence, not die.
Sex. Yeah. I want the violence, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, Blockbuster. I did not enjoy working for the company, but you, Sorensen,
some of the greatest Neff, Shari, who we didn't work with there, but met
Yeah.
because of.
We met a hell of it was meeting our
friend.
tribe. It was
Yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
first times I remember meeting, and I worked at a movie theater for my first job, and I had a little bit of it there, but at video, I was like, oh, these are geeks like me.
And there's some overlap because who you met at the movie theater, I worked with Rainey later at Blockbuster. She was kind of that overlap.
She got me through high school. She was a hell of a friend. I watched a couple other things, by the way. I do want to mention one. Amy had never, or Mel had never watched this, and I watched it. I thought it was fine, but I rewatched White Chicks from 2004.
I have not watched it since it came out. I did not like it when it came out.
I didn't really either.
Is it better?
No, if you know, how about I put it this way? I liked it a lot more than I did then.
Okay.
First of all, watching it with her and different
I feel like I could appreciate Terry Crews better now.
Terry Crews steals that movie. Genuinely laughed so hard. In the trivia, there's some things about the scenes that he improvised, which is fucking hilarious, to be honest with you.
He talks very glowingly. He talks very glowingly about the Wayans family because they gave him his shot in that movie
in comedy because he was doing a lot of heavies and thug roles. Yeah, and things like that.
He always played the bouncer kind of,
and he is insanely funny. He does steal the movie, but that being said, I liked it more. And I think it was a little off-putting to see them in the makeup and the prosthetics.
And I think maybe that's why I didn't like it.
Probably. It was just a little disturbing to me. It was a little distracting. It's like watching The Mask with Eric Stoltz.
It's better than
I can't stop looking at that kid's face and mask, But
it is better than Little Man, right?
Yeah, 100%. I actually legitimately would recommend watching it. I laughed hard enough that Amy and I now consistently quote the song he sings, which, by the way, they didn't know he knew all the lyrics by heart or the dance moves and choreography, which he did. That's all improv. So apparently the crew, Keenan and all the people behind there, were laughing so hard, desperately trying not to fuck up the take as he's one-shotting this beautiful little bit in anyways.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot more than I did back then. And I was always a big Wayans fan and scary movie and things like that. I just something about this one 100%. And I did not like Little Man also. So maybe I should rewatch that.
I think Little Man was the last of the Wayans brothers comedies that I did watch. It was shortly after that Scary Movie basically got taken away from them.
Yeah, and ruined.
And became Zuckers and Abrams basically ripped it out from under them.
Yeah,
and started doing those, and as much as I loved their early stuff, it just didn't work. And I never watched their the haunted house or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The other spoof one that they did. But yeah, I love the Wayans brothers.
Mel and I watched Don't Be a Menace South Central. She had never watched it, and I had her watch the whole thing, and it's so funny. I've loved it forever. I've always loved the movie.
Yes, I've always loved that movie.
I feel like that was, and I think we talked about it recently, but that was the movie where they had 20 years worth of jokes they wanted to make about all those hood movies.
Yes,
they had just built this whole thing up, so they hit it all in that.
Yeah. So yeah, there are two Wayans family movies of the comedies. Obviously there's Requiem and there's other things that they're great in, but of their comedies, Don't Be a Menace to South Central. He's a freaking amazing actor. Brilliant actor.
Yeah.
But Don't Be a Menace to South Central while you're drinking your juice in the hood is a fantastic movie. But I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka.
Yeah.
Which is those two are two of they don't urban, they are two of the funniest movies I've ever watched. They are just that freaking funny. And that's just because that family is just.
I have a question for you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have a question for you. Why is there no biopic or information on the Wayans family?
Yeah.
I mean, they're huge. In Living Color alone.
Where's the In Living Color doc?
I mean, give them the whole thing, which, by the way, in Don't Be a Menace, if you didn't remember, there's a joke about the lady in wherever they're living, the ghetto, the hood where they're living.
Yeah.
The lady who has all the kids, he goes, I don't know, Miss Wayans, she's always having kids. Something like that. Making a joke about their own mom. But Like
It's
In
fantastic.
Living Color was pivotal. It was so
Yeah.
important to the 90s.
Mhm.
It changed humor. Not only gave us some great
Absolutely.
people, but
Mhm.
I remember it so fondly. And it's all the brainchild of these, mostly Keenan, but the Damon and all
He
these people.
I saw an interview with Sean, and I guess the whole
You
Sam
mean SW1?
SW1. I saw an interview with Sean, and he said that, while every one of them is talented, Kim is the single funniest, most talented member of the Wayans
She
family,
doesn't do
and she
enough.
does and why?
I know, but
Why?
I love the opening with her in Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah.
She's in my baby. I love it so much.
No,
But anyways,
I still joke about that. "Are you my daddy?"
yeah.
What do you say,
Yeah.
kid? When you meet a
What
new
do you
man, what
say
do you
when you
say,
meet a
kid?
new but
It's
anyway,
so
White
funny.
Chicks, check
Anyways,
it out sometime. Put it on in the
yeah,
background. At the least, you can watch it for the
yeah,
Carrie Crew stuff, scene to scene.
yeah, just to watch.
If you I think I watched it expecting a little more not serious comedy. I don't know what I expected. But if
I
I take it as the fact they know they're making something dumb, the dialogue is dumb,
Yeah,
those things, it's better.
it's
I don't
better.
know.
Alright,
I
yeah.
liked it though. I recommend checking it back
Speaking
out.
of movies that I actually liked a little better watching it now is a movie from '96 that I watched, um, because it just rolled up as a suggested next, and I don't know why it was suggested next after Thrashin, because it doesn't
Gryffindor's
fit.
Tribe.
No,
Go ahead.
Black Sheep.
Okay.
Chris Farley's Black Sheep. Now,
Yeah.
I love Tommy Boy.
Everybody gives Tommy Boy all the love and Black Sheep. I like Black Sheep a little
Black
bit.
Sheep is far better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
It is super funny. Christine Ebersole as the evil, governor of New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
Tim Matheson as the brother who's just a little bit too cool. Gary
Can I
Busey in one
as
of
the
his last
psycho? Yeah.
but in one of his last
Normal-ish.
roles where he still is Gary Busey.
Looked like he does.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it
by the
was
I
so
think Black Sheep has a tremendously better story. It's a better script, even
yeah,
if the jokes aren't maybe as good as Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy's a little
the
plain Jane, save the
yeah.
factory,
Yeah,
whatever. Whereas
and
this is a little bit better.
there's
Good.
the scene in Seattle where they're in Seattle and he goes to the Rock the Vote, and he ends up smoking weed
Yeah.
with the guys, and then
Who
he
was
goes out
it?
and he starts
Who
yelling
was the
on the stage.
band?
I can't remember. Is it Bad Brains maybe? I don't remember. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But he gets up on stage, and when you see Chris Farley up there yelling, "Kill Whitey!" It gets me every time.
Yeah, it's a very fun. I have not watched it in a long time.
Um,
Tommy Boy gets all the credit,
It's
and
and
it,
it's Penelope Spheris, love Penelope Spheris, great
yeah.
director. Yeah, I just, I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know why it was recommended, after after watching
Schindler's List.
Thrashin', but
Oh yeah,
but
Thrashin' to
to
I
Black
don't
Sheep,
know.
I don't know, but yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's way better than I remembered it being.
That's awesome. Chris Farley, I never saw Beverly Hills Ninja. I know Almost Heroes is one I would always say is an underrated,
Yeah,
underappreciated
Christopher
little
Guest is
gem.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very funny. Both Matthew
Yeah.
Perry and Chris Farley have passed at this point.
And
They are
both
very funny.
technically the same reason, just
Yeah,
unable to get beyond their addictions.
man, what a shitty
But
world.
yeah, yeah, I love it. It just so the breakdown just refers to them as the Rastafarians.
Okay, I thought it was somebody. Maybe
I
not.
thought it was, but it just refers to them as Rastafarians. Anyway,
I watched one other movie. Oh, by the way, just a real quick side note. Have you seen there's a trailer for uh Coyote, like Wile E. Coyote versus Acme?
yeah,
Have you seen this trailer?
so I did a long time ago because
Okay. They
Warner
probably been working
Brothers
on it for a while.
originally killed it and they weren't going to release it. And then
Wow.
somebody else was rumored to be picking it up. Has it been picked up to be released now?
All I did was I saw the trailer. I didn't know any
Yeah.
of the back history.
Is
Will Forte's in
Arnett?
it?
Will Forte.
Will
Yeah, not
Forte,
Will
which
Forte,
which
yes.
is perfect in it. But anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a mix of live action, but the technology is so much more advanced now that it could be really cool. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. But I did watch
Yeah.
one other movie,
Sure.
which I'm a huge Derek Cianfrance fan.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
Blue Valentine. I really like A Place Beyond the Pines,
Yeah.
and all the other stuff. But I watched Roof Man. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't watched it, but I saw the trailer for it. I'm familiar. I know what it is. I
True
want to
story
watch it, but I have not.
about a guy who robs places by breaking into the roof. It's based on a true story. It's Kirsten Dunst.
Channing on my Tatum.
Channing Tatum, which I think he lost 75 pounds and slimmed down. He looks very different in this.
Yeah.
Mel kept saying, "Why does he look so weird?" I'm like, it's because he's thinned down because the guy he's playing is different. Channing Tatum, I think, was going for the most dramatic role he's ever had. Definitely not the gimp in This Is the End, not
Which
the
is
sex
maybe
gimp.
which is so the real quick side note on the GIMP, the
Mhm.
fact that he played the GIMP, the fact that he played such a small role in Hateful Eight, those little things make me like an actor who does something like
Yeah.
Magic Mike. I don't and nothing against Magic Mike. I've
No,
heard
no.
they're actually really funny movies. I haven't watched them, but they're not my kind of movie. But when you can say, "I don't take myself so seriously. Look at me. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
Danny McBride's GIMP
Yeah.
because that's freaking hilarious."
It
You
was
earn a
very
lot of
funny
points.
when he came out of the trailer on the leash. I remember laughing very hard in the
So
little
hard.
harness, mostly
Yes.
just his balls covered. It's very funny. Good on him. But I also like 21 Jump Street, 22
I
Jump
like
Street.
I like
I
both of
liked
them.
them all. Yeah, I
I
think they
like
were
both.
both good. I think he's very talented. And this, I think he's trying to show sincerity and drama.
Yeah.
He's pretty good in it. But I will say
Mhm.
Kirsten Dunst is phenomenal. Like she
Yeah.
is such and like I think forget because
Uh-huh.
she's been around for so long, but she carries the emotional weight of the movie. And I mean that in the best possible way. But Channing Tatum does an amazing job. Peter Dinklage, who I'm not a
Mhm.
big Game of Thrones fan.
I've never
I'm just
watched
not
it.
really a Game of Thrones fan,
I'm
but
not a fantasy guy. I'm
yeah.
I
But
I don't know.
I Peter Dinklage after watching him in the what's the show Reservation Dogs,
I was gonna say, yeah,
The
yeah,
Lowdown, which
yes.
he's fantastic in his
Mhm.
episode of Lowdown. He should get an Emmy for the work he did in that one episode.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's so funny in that. He's very funny in this. The whole cast is great. I don't know. It's a really pretty good movie. It's not great, but it's very good.
Yeah,
100% worth your time. I think it's on Paramount.
probably,
But
yeah.
Mel loves whenever there's a quote unquote true story. Her absolute favorite thing, and it'll ruin the movie if they don't have it, which is pictures at the end of who the real people are.
Of the real people? Yeah.
And
This is
you
what
never know how much they're sticking to the actual story or how much of this is fabricated because it's based on or whatever. No, it's pretty close, and they show a lot of that stuff. So anyways, Mel loved it,
good for them.
But I'd recommend it. It's on
Yeah,
Paramount Plus. I think
yeah,
Jennifer, you guys should watch it. To be
yeah.
honest, it's a great family movie. It's very
Alright.
funny and it's
Yeah,
sweet at the
and
same
I
time.
really I know this isn't the same thing, but I actually really liked him alongside of, Sandra Bullock in Lost City. I thought Lost City was a
Okay, I didn't
callback to
see it.
it's a callback to a Romancing the Stone kind of movie.
Really?
Daniel
Okay.
Radcliffe is hilarious as the bad guy. Um, Divine Joy Randolph as her agent is hilarious. Brad
She's always
Pitt in
great.
a small role is great. Like, yeah, I like
I
that. So,
I didn't see
good
that
on them.
movie. It's good. It's worth watching.
Yeah,
Yep.
if you like, and I know we do, but if for anyone out there, if you like a Romancing the Stone, then you're gonna enjoy.
I hate it.
There's
I
something,
can't
yeah.
stand it.
Well, then don't watch it. Jeez, moving on.
Everything from the 80s, just awful.
Done. I'm out.
Anyways,
Uh,
that's what else you got on your
so,
list?
a couple other things. So this next movie that I watched, from 1967, it's called Waterhole Number 3. It is a Western comedy about stolen gold that's buried at Waterhole Number 3. It stars, James Coburn and Carol O'Connor, and so James Coburn and Carol O'Connor are trying to outsmart each other to be the first to get to the gold. It is one of the most problematic movies I have ever seen in my life.
Really? What year is this again?
67.
Okay.
There's the love interest, I guess, to say, is an actress by the name of Margaret Bly. She's a beautiful actress, really good looking lady. James Coburn, she plays Carol O'Connor's daughter in the movie. James Coburn kind of corners her in the barn and basically essays her in the barn,
Oh,
grapes her,
okay.
as they say on the internet.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, he gets on his horse, he steals Carol O'Connor's horse and rides off. Carol O'Connor gets home, sees something happen to his daughter, starts asking, and she basically says, "I was great. This happened to me."
Wow.
And Carol O'Connor basically says, "Well, if you weren't my daughter, I would too."
What?
Yeah. And then later on, Carol O'Connor meets up with James Coburn and shenanigans ensues, whatever. And Carol O'Connor accuses him of the act, and James Coburn's response is I prefer to call it assault with a friendly weapon.
Ooh.
And to make
That leaves a very bad
everything
taste. That leaves an insanely bad taste in my mouth.
and to make
I don't like
everything
it. I don't
better,
like anything you're saying,
no,
man.
I know. And to make everything
Game over, man. Game
but
over.
to fix it all,
Yeah.
but to make it all better, she falls for James Coburn.
No
But
fucking way.
but you know what James Coburn does? Kisses her and says, "I'm sorry, I gotta go," and rides off and leaves her behind.
When you say essay, you mean like actual. I know what you mean, but
Yes.
not like playful.
No.
Like no.
Like,
Oh God, that's gross.
yeah. No, like I was
Sorry.
like, Jennifer, my wife, Jennifer and I were watching this because we love wacky comedy westerns. We're big support your local sheriff, support your local gunfighter fans, whack the shakiest gun in the West with Don Knotts. Love that stuff. So this came up as a recommendation for funny comedy westerns. We're like, let's give this a try.
Yeah.
James Coburn in like Flint, like, let's do it. Oh my God, this is the most uncomfortable comedy. I do not watch it. And I know we're not here to yuck your yum,
That's not a good
but if you
one.
yum this, that's yuck.
First of all,
Like-
if you have that many trigger warnings, that you should notify people. Like if you need to say this and this and this is a part of this material and is distasteful. I don't
Yes.
mean in a deliverance way, like where you're like,
Right.
well, it's unfortunately it's part of the script, it's part of it.
fits.
But if it's done as if it's comedic or something, that's not.
But it's all a joke. It's all a joke.
1967, huh?
67.
I don't know when that would have been okay. Like Danny Rea, what's his name, right? Who got famous for slapping actresses in all the movies in the 30s and 40s or 50s. Like he
Right.
was a noir actor, and he was
Yeah.
every movie he just
I gotta
slaps
slap
the women
some.
around.
Yeah, I'm slapping
And
a
so
woman. Yeah.
that was extreme. You know what I mean? This is
Mhm.
just it's distasteful.
It's distasteful. Absolutely. I kept hoping it's the tail end of the studio era. Jack Valenti is in place now, 1967.
Right.
So they didn't have to, like, the criminal didn't have to come
by good taste.
They
or better
the
taste.
criminal didn't have to come to justice anymore.
Yeah.
So there was no justice for him.
That's
He was
a
able to just make
hard swing the other direction.
It's really
You know?
hard. Really hard. So
Wow.
highly do not recommend it. Do
Well, that's
not.
a good one. You got anything better to take this
Yeah, I
disgusting
do.
taste out of my mouth?
I do. I absolutely do.
Mm.
Because we were talking Peter Falk last week.
I love
We
him so
love
much.
Peter Falk. I watched Murder by Death because
I love it so much.
Murder by Death. Actually, I was working with as we all know, I'm a teacher in my day job. I was working with another teacher and we got talking and she was talking about how much she loves Clue. I love
Yeah.
Clue. Clue's a great
Yeah.
movie. And I said, "Have you ever seen Murder by Death?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "No." I'm like,
What?
"If you like Clue, you have to watch Murder by Death. It's like it's Clue times 10.
Yep.
Way funnier movie. I love everything about it. From Peter is Peter Sellers. Yes. But
does he get a pass? I don't know. It's
I
Robert
don't
Downey
know that he
Jr.
gets
in
a
Tropic
pass for
Thunder.
it, but he does it in a way where he's making fun of the Charlie Chan movies that were doing that in the 30s and 40s.
True.
So I can I can squint enough to be okay with this one.
But he also did the party. So I just think it was different. I
It was
can't
different.
harsh him. Like, let me put it this way. Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yeah,
That's
that's not
no,
cool. That's not
no,
okay. That's all bad.
because
Peter Sellers in the party. Okay.
yeah,
It doesn't, but I'm
Mickey Rooney
a
was making
straight
fun of a
white middle-aged
people.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Mickey Rooney was
exactly.
making fun of a people. Peter Sellers was making fun of Werner Oland, who played Charlie Chan. Like, he's making fun of a white guy who dressed up. But anyways, Murder by Death is so stinging funny. Neil Simon, directed by Robert Moore. Truman Capote in one of his only like true acting roles. He's hilarious in this.
It's a big part of it too.
Yeah, he's a big part of it. The long pinkies. It is so stinking funny. I love when Elsa Lanchester comes in. She's the Agatha Christie Miss Marple or whatever. She comes in and she brings in her nursemaid that she's
pushing the little decrepit lady in a wheelchair, and you think that's going to be the detective, the Agatha Christie, and she goes, "That's my nurse." That's such a goofy movie. But I love Peter Falk.
And then which brings me to my favorite character in the whole movie, Alec Guinness as James Sir Benson Mum.
Benson Mum.
James, how odd. My father, sir. How odd, Benson Mum?
So dumb. It's so funny. Neil Simon's a brilliant writer. So
absolutely love Murder by Death. It is a single location thing. They're just in a big house.
It's a murder mystery.
And it's a murder mystery. It is so much fun.
So just for the gist of it, because I also didn't understand that. I loved it as a kid. It was a little slower. My dad loved it. He showed it to us. It was like Phantom of the Paradise. We all love Murder by Death. But I didn't necessarily know back then all of the Thin Man characters. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so when you watch it, every single group, Sam Spade, they're all different classic detectives from these murder mystery stories that were so huge in the 30s and 40s. Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, the first time I watched it, I didn't know who these were, like who they were parodying.
Nick and Nora Charles.
Yeah,
I didn't
Dick
know.
and Dora Charleston. But and then you've got Peter Falk doing the Sam Spade, except
but he's Sam Diamond.
Yeah.
So
like there is just, it is so much fun. It is endlessly rewatchable. I absolutely love it. Highly recommend.
Have you seen The Cheap Detective? I've never seen it.
No, it's one that comes up for me all the time, but I have not actually sat down to watch it.
Also Peter Falk. I love Peter Falk.
Peter Falk.
You know what Peter Falk is fantastic in? The Princess Bride.
Yep. So absolutely, yes, he is absolutely fantastic in The Princess Bride, which
I don't know why I brought that up.
Feeling is going to come up later.
It'll come up later.
No, but with that, like, that's the last thing that I did watch. But the reason I was bringing that up, as I honestly forgot.
Yeah,
because I got so excited about how silly this is.
Yeah.
Because it is so much. It's such a fun freaking movie.
It is a great movie.
Anyways, that leads us somehow into, so you mentioned how great a writer Neil Simon is. Well, foundationally for us, another great writer was Michael Crichton, right?
Yeah.
Because when we were budding teenagers was when a lot of his great books, Rising Sun, Jurassic Park,
and
Disclosure, were all coming out.
In a very casual, unprepared way, this brings us to our topic this week, Josh.
See how that accidentally happens there sometimes.
Last week we talked, we brought up Sphere, right?
Yeah.
And it was whatever our topic was, I forgot already. But anyways, and it was Mike Crichton, and I think I made the point. That I didn't have a lot of my parents didn't read a lot. I mean, it happened, but it was not the most prevalent thing. But like Two Houses Down were Sorensen, Tammy, Jesse, Barb, and Dave, like the families. Josh Sorensen, my best friend from childhood. We lived right up the street, and their entire family read all the time. but they also could read with the TV on in the background, which I just had so much trouble with at that age.
Yeah,
but
sure.
they were always reading. And I don't know, at one point I think I got Rising Sun, that they had finished. I don't even think it had a cover. I think the cover had been ripped off because their house was chaotic. They were always fighting and throwing stuff at each other, the kids. Oh, I love them. Hey, shout out Sorensen and his sisters.
Sorensen family.
But anyways, and I read Rising Sun and I fell in love with it. And it was the first, I think, I don't want to say adult book, but I guess adult book that I remember distinctly reading, and I couldn't put it down, and I read it all the way through. And then from that moment on, I was looking for everything Michael Crichton, and I went through, and I definitely haven't read everything. He's very prolific.
He did write a lot.
But it changed. It was like me graduating from, reading, let's say, little kids. I don't want to say Goosebumps as little kids, but like junior material to like this one's about
going from YA to adult.
Yeah, this is there's murder in this, there's sex in this, there's drugs in this.
Rising Sun was the third Michael Crichton book that I read, and it was a complete change from what I was used to. So I read Andromeda Strain first, Jurassic Park second, and then talk about three complete, like at least the first two are very science based.
Did you read Jurassic Park before the movie?
No.
I was very lucky to, but I remember it didn't take the movie down because Steven Spielberg is such a genius.
Yes.
But there were some scenes that I remember looking forward to that weren't in it. But even still.
I read it later. I actually read Jurassic Park, the book, when Lost World, the sequel, was announced.
Right.
So, and you'll remember this, the opening scene of Lost World is the opening scene from the book, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So Spielberg found a way to honor that.
Yeah, to actually bring it in, because that was one of the scenes I really liked. It didn't fit to me in Lost World, whatever. Forget all that stuff.
Anyway,
but he's so prolific. He not only, so first of all, anybody takes a cursory glance at his bio, he was a genius. He's 6'9" or 6'7", huge monster of a man. But he went to medical school, left medical school because he didn't really like it, which is crazy. I think he came from an affluent family, but
he left, but he did eventually get his doctorate. He did end up being a doctor,
I'm sure. But then wrote his first book, which was A Case of Need, under a pen, I think Jeffrey Hudson, something like that.
Yeah,
which
he had a couple of different pen names back then, but
yeah. But we talked about that. First of all, I said, how does a guy, I thought medical school was supposed to be hard, and he's writing a whole novel. But anyways, we talked about it recently.
Hold on,
the movie adaptation.
Not only is medical school supposed to be hard, he went to Harvard Medical School, and he wrote the novel you're talking about, A Case of Need. Yeah. He wrote it in his quote, "I wrote it for furniture and groceries."
Yeah.
I just wanted to eat a little bit and sit somewhere comfortable.
So I sat down and I wrote a novel.
He sat down and wrote a book.
That's how prolific he is. Yeah. But they made that into a movie, which we talked about. It's not the first movie adaptation of his films or his books, but called The Carey Treatment. Blake Edwards directed it from like 1972. We talked about it recently. It's about an abortion doctor and a botched abortion and all these things. The only part that I really liked about it was James Hong. Yeah. Fantastic character actor, all that stuff. But the movie is just okay. James Coburn is extremely miscast in the movie. So I let all that go. But the real first thing was the Andromeda Strain, and I never read the book, and I don't remember the movie, I don't think.
So Andromeda Strain is obviously on my list because of the movie, but I never watched the movie. I read the book because I'll read a long book. I have no problem with long books. But if I don't know if I'm going to like an author, I will find something of theirs that's shorter a little bit. And Andromeda Strain, I want to say it was like 130 pages. It was a much smaller, easier, more accessible book. So I read that first. And that's what led me then to Jurassic Park.
And Rising Sun.
Spear. I eventually go down the whole thing.
Have you not seen the film for Andromeda Strain?
I have not seen the movie of Andromeda.
Me neither. We should watch it. Robert Wise, who we love
as
Robert, a director. He did Star Trek, the motion picture,
everything.
Yeah, he's this huge cast. Yeah. Anyways, big fan of Robert Wise, and yeah, he directed that, and it's the first of the adaptations. I don't know. I've read the book, so I don't know what I'd be looking at. You probably would. I have nothing to compare it to, but
no, it's well, it's similar to like a sphere, except this one it's a satellite returns to Earth and it has a deadly microorganism on it, and they have to hands on the strain. They have to
Yeah.
solve it. But it's the book is great. I haven't watched it. It stars Arthur Hill is the only name that I recognize real quick off of the list, but it's Robert Wise. I think yeah, I think so. I think it has to be. There's only so many hills in the world.
So stupid. That's only so many. But anyways, after that, I don't know, he maybe wasn't happy with the adaptation of both those first two movies because he started directing his own movies, which is insane that a couple of years after his first book is published, made into a movie, he's left medical school, whatever, and then he's like, I'm just going to go to Hollywood and start directing and writing my own movies. So he did Westworld in 1973.
Which I saw when I was a kid. I had seen it when I was younger because my dad loved it. I watched it again probably in the last 2 or 3 years because I was thinking about watching the TV show. I still have not watched it. I've not watched the TV show, but I did watch Westworld again, and it is so much better than I remembered it being. Like I had fun with it. Like I love the idea. I wish that the rest of the worlds, I wish we got to experience the rest of the worlds.
Yeah.
Because they get to, so the idea is you choose this world, you get to go live in this world, and it's AI, basically AI runs this world. Yeah, it's AI runs this world, and you get to experience what it was like in the Old West or in all these other towns.
Didn't they make a sequel, Future World?
They did.
Yeah, they did, right? And it was terrible.
They did.
I think I started it. Yeah.
Got bombed. Yeah.
Not written by Michael Crichton.
No.
Which says a lot.
But it's like the stars in 1973. He's directing Westworld. He's got Yul Brynner, who was one of the biggest stars on Earth. King and I.
Any Western fan should love Yul Brynner.
Richard Benjamin, who was
huge in the 70s,
huge
and then just went away.
Mr. Dash, and then and James Brolin, who we just talked about his son Josh earlier in the episode. James Brolin's
from
in
Goonies.
Go Goonies. But the idea of the malfunctioning android, the AI turns, which is Yul Brynner, who has or can have a very sinister look about him. And I think that's what makes the movie so stinking good.
It's all Yul Brynner. If you put Gene Wilder in that part, I'd probably just be goofily laughing the whole time, you know?
But now I want to see that movie.
I know, it'd be a much fun. It'd be the Frisco Kid. What's that movie he did where he was the Western? The Frisco Kid, was it? Where he's like he's the Jewish guy going across country to San Francisco, and they call it Frisco, which most people here hate the word Frisco. But anyway, so the Westworld, I mean, it's a TV show now. I have not watched the show. It's supposed to be very good. I think also I always expected it to have a lot of essay in that too. And so it's one of the things I don't think my wife would have a good taste for it.
And I don't generally partake of a lot of content that has that.
No, same.
I've seen I Spit on Your Grave. I don't like those kind of movies. I've seen them. I don't.
Promising Young Woman is fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic movie. But I wouldn't watch it regularly.
No, it's not. Yeah. Anyways,
it's not Schindler's List, as
it's not Schindler's List. It's more Sophie's Choice. But I digress. Coma, I remember, as also a movie, and that he wrote and directed.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it from being when I was a kid.
And Coma's a weird one because it's based on someone else's book, but he wrote the screenplay.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Odd for him,
but it's a young Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
But again, it's still in that world that he.
I think it's a hospital that are putting people in comas. I think to experiment on them or take organs. I can't remember, but
it is a conspiracy thriller.
What do you think of his next film, The Great Train Robbery? It's from 1978. He also wrote and directed it.
Never watched it.
Really?
High on my list. Always wanted to. I went looking for that, and Sean Connery's in it. I know what the movie is.
Oh, huge cast of people.
You know who I ended up watching instead? Murder on the Orient Express. I went for the other train mystery from the same time.
I think I say The Great Mouse Caper.
The Great Mouse Detective.
That's what it is. Anyways, The Great Train Robbery. It's dated. It's dated. Sure. It feels a little dated, even though it's supposed to be a period piece. But for me, because I like nuts and bolts of heists and things like that, there's a lot of planning and a lot of preparation and a lot of not rehearsal. You don't rehearse for a crime. All right, everybody, places. You know what I mean? But it's good. It's got some really good performances, and I don't know. It's worth watching for sure.
Yeah.
I think I say dated because it's that old style of 70s filmmaking where the cameras and the techniques they were using gave it. It's that
it felt sepia tone.
Robert Altman. Yeah. It's got a Robert Altman feel to it.
Yeah.
Which
so little Nashville.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
Yeah. It's you know.
No, but it's definitely a feel. Did you ever watch Runaway?
Oh yeah. Runaway is not Burt
Tom
Reynolds. Tom Selleck. The other mustache.
The other yeah. Because what's his name was he was done by then. He's like I can't.
It's not Sam Elliott, not Burt Reynolds. Then it's got to be
the other mustache.
Magdalene mustache. I definitely saw it. I think we talked about it recently because it was weird. Tom Selleck was already doing Magna PI, right? Yeah. And so he's in this normal street beat cop's uniform, and we're like, that doesn't seem right.
It does, and it doesn't. And what's weird? It's weird though that he was able to find time to do Runaway, but a year earlier he couldn't get time off to do Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Was he up? Was Tom Selleck up for Raiders?
Tom Selleck was the original choice. Steven Spielberg wanted him to be Indiana Jones.
No, because I thought George Lucas really wanted Harrison Ford.
No, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck could not get it worked into his contract with Magnum PI. They wouldn't allow him to do it.
They needed to add more zeros.
And then what happens is they end up with Harrison Ford. They start filming. Tom Selleck, all of a sudden, there's something going on. They have to pause filming for a while. He ends up making Runaway instead.
The Ferrari broke down in Hawaii.
The Ferrari broke down. But yeah, it's very much, Runaway is very much like an iRobot, Isaac Asimov vibe kind of a show.
I have not watched it in years.
Yeah.
But in just reminding myself by reading synopsis and things like that, there's a lot about AI and computers taking over. There, people now, because there's always conspiracy theory people, they're like, this is more relevant today than ever. Probably not. Yeah.
No, but
I still want to check it out. I liked it.
Yeah. I remember loving it. Again, I haven't seen it in a long time.
I just remember spider, like robot spiders crawling up a building trying to, But anyways,
which is why Wild Wild West has a giant spider, because little spiders weren't enough.
It's the king of the insect kingdom.
It's the king.
Just
But that brings us to maybe the greatest Michael Crichton adaptation, Jurassic Park. We don't need to say a lot about it because Jurassic Park is.
Isn't Rising Sun? Well, they're the same year, right?
Yeah, they're the same year.
Rising Sun 93, Jurassic Park 93.
Yeah. But I don't know which one debuted first, but Jurassic Park overshadowed everything else in 93.
Changed filmmaking. That's all. No big deal.
That's it.
I mean, it's little Stevie Spielberg, right? Like
that's little Stevie. Is little Stevie Spielberg?
He can take, even though he veered somewhat. Although they kept a lot of the technical stuff, which I appreciate.
Yes.
Like a lot of the nuts and bolts and things that probably would have felt dry in the other hands. Like little Stevie, he knows what he's doing.
So it's been a long time since I read the book. Remind me, was I just lost his name. Richard Attenborough's character. Wasn't he more of an a-hole in the book?
I think so.
I remember John Hammond. I remember John Hammond being much more.
I think he was. I think he was a bigger asshole, but I think it was mostly just to the people underneath him, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
it's been years.
Yeah,
but like
I think
the
I read
staff
it in
at the place.
95.
He was pissed at them for not getting some of the gene splicing done in time or whatever. those were those moments, but I think that was where Crichton wrote it for him to be an asshole to the staff and then turn immediately to his grandkids. And then he was
and be the loving
great.
grandfather.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember, but it's fantastic movie. There's no need to talk about it. We all love Jurassic Park. It changed everything
It's
forever.
foundational. It's different. But
But
then
Rising Sun.
Rising Sun.
Yeah.
So you read the book before you saw the movie.
Yeah.
How
definitely.
How did it affect? Because I saw the movie first, so I really liked the movie a lot.
Yeah.
How did it
I
affect
liked the
your
movie
joy
a
of the
lot.
movie?
I definitely didn't see Sean Connery as the senpai or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't in my head. But with
Right.
casting aside,
Yeah.
there was some of the stuff I really liked in the book. And again, it's been a long time, but I remember thinking like they cut out a whole bunch of backstory. Like Wesley Snipes is not my favorite actor. He's
No.
good sometimes, not others. He's fine in this.
Yep. He doesn't ruin the movie.
He doesn't ruin the movie, but there was some of the backstory about like he had was a dirty cop no, he was accused of being a dirty cop, something like that. And there was a lot more of that. Plus then there was more of this Japanese business culture clashing with American business culture and American society. And there was a lot more of that, if you remember in the book. Those things are what, because I was so interested to learn in reading Rising Sun, like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And this is the first time I heard that you give a business card out to in like Japanese businessmen and stuff. They usually will hand their business card, which is a brilliant way. It's like a name tag.
Yep.
But anyways,
absolutely.
I still love the movie though.
Yeah, I really like the movie. It had two of my favorite as a kid, two of my favorite Asian performers. Cary Tagawa is he's one of the two main Asian characters, and Mako. I love that Mako. So Mako I always liked him because he's in one of my guilty pleasure kind of movies. He's in Taking Care of Business with Jim Belushi.
I like that movie.
I love that movie, and he's
so
in
dumb.
it. And
I like it.
It is. But speaking of Cary Tagawa, who is he's the main businessman in Rising Sun. He passed away just in December. So shout out to him. Check out some of the great stuff that he's done. The Amazon Prime series Man in the High Castle, he's amazing in. License to Kill, Showdown in Little Tokyo. He's in so many things. He's just a fantastic actor. So I just want to make sure that I shout him out because we lost today.
Yeah, it had again, I think it was a young impressionable age, so I liked the cultural knowledge I was gaining from it. And it's Michael Crichton, so I guess I didn't have a lot to base it on, but I felt like he knew what he was talking about.
Right.
And in hindsight, everything it is like he's not an idiot. And so like the stuff that I was learning and heard in that and stuff, I was like, oh, as the years go by, I'm like, that is like, that's a part of the custom. Really this is part of how they are. And it was I liked the movie. I guess if anything, maybe recasting, because again, I did not picture Wesley Snipes is actually okay. I didn't not picture him.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been. But Sean Connery was, I remember, weird to me because I was like, that's not who I don't know who I pictured. Brian Dennehy or something, like something different.
But a more grizzled American.
Yeah. But I still love the movie.
Yeah.
What about shortly after that Disclosure? This is that Demi Moore, Michael Douglas?
I wanted to like Disclosure. It's Barry Levinson. It's Michael Crichton. It's Michael Douglas. At the time, Demi Moore was huge. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't
like it. I didn't read the book, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the movie. And I remember it felt like it got tied into, if you remember in the 90s with Anita Hill and all that stuff, like sexual harassment had never even been discussed.
Right.
You would people would slap women on the asses in the office, talk about their boobs and whatever
Mad Men is all about that.
Yeah, it's an insane amount of sexual harassment and objectification that was happening all the time. And then like everything kind of changed for good in the 90s, and like women
Right.
were getting a little more respect.
Mhm.
You weren't supposed to do these things and you were going to get in trouble for it. And
But
I feel like
yeah,
this was one of the first big movies that was along those lines, but they did the role reversal, right?
they did the thing where, so Demi Moore makes a pass at Michael Douglas. He refutes it. He pushes her off. Her feelings are hurt, so she files a sexual harassment claim against
Right.
him.
She's his boss though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's his
Yeah.
boss. That's what I mean, like that. There's a little bit of a
she's the
reversal.
boss, but but she still accuses him falsely of it's a I don't remember I remember not liking the movie at all, being really
I
bored
think
by it.
Yeah, because Basic Instinct gave me some nudity. Body of Evidence gave me some nudity. I don't remember
Liver.
any of this, which yeah, that too. Which is a teenage boy. If you're gonna give me some long dramatic piece, show me
Yeah.
some boobs.
Right,
I'm only
give me
young
something.
once.
We're only young once.
Um,
And then
Good.
the next one is historically and for completely a bad movie, but I love it, and that's Congo.
Okay.
1995, Congo. It's Laura Linney, who is an amazing actress, totally wasted. Tim Curry, a great actor. He's a cartoon character in this movie.
Right.
Small appearance by Bruce Campbell, who we have an affinity for. Love Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
The gorillas are all so bad animatronics. They look bad.
Okay.
It's
It's not
directed.
CGI.
It's not. It's no. It's all. Yeah.
It's all Frank Oz with the puppet.
It's a hand puppet.
This gray monkey coming around with his teeth.
It is just. It's not good. It was. But it feels like it should have been. It was. What's his name? He was part of Amblin along with Kathleen Kennedy and Steven Spielberg. He was married to Kathleen Kennedy for a long time.
All I'm picturing is their name, Kennedy.
Not Gary Marshall.
Oh, but it is Marshall. Go ahead.
But anyways, so like it feels like it should have been. It's got a great cast: Dylan Walsh, Ernie Hudson, plus the people I talked about, and whoever it is directing it. And you watch. It's should have been on our list of so bad they're good movies.
Okay.
It's so bad but there's just enough silliness and goofiness that it's pulpy adventure.
Did you read the book, and how close is it to the book?
I didn't read the book.
I haven't seen the movie, but I read the book.
You read the book?
I liked the book.
No, so the idea so Dylan Walsh is a scientist and was teaching a gorilla sign language, right?
Yeah.
And he's taking her back to release her back to the wild.
And there's an ancient
and there's an ancient
tribe or family, and yeah.
And then the silverback gorillas that are there, and it's all. But then Tim Curry leads this. I think they're Russian guy to go steal the gold.
Okay.
So
I vaguely remember.
It's just not. It's not.
But I didn't see the movie, and I would have, because I did like the book, and it was because I think people were saying it wasn't good, and I was like, oh, and it was Sharon Stone in that.
No. Laura Linney's the main girl.
Is that who it is? Laura Linney.
It's Laura Linney.
Okay.
Sharon Stone does show up in the one that brought us to this topic, obviously.
Yeah, Sphere. Yeah. I knew it was one or the other. But Sphere again was my favorite when I read it.
The book.
It was the one I read multiple times because I really liked it. Congo I liked a lot, but I just didn't see the movie. By this point, I think maybe I was starting to discover independent film, because what year did this come out?
95. So 95. So we were, you definitely you found Pulp Fiction, you found Clerks, you found.
That changed the dynamic.
Yes. Right.
I guess that's why that happened.
I came across one that's based on a short story that I have not actually seen. Did you read The Golden Man or watch the movie Next with Nicolas Cage?
I did not.
Neither.
And I have not.
I can't speak on it. But that leads me to one other movie and a TV show that I have seen and I do want to talk about. First is Timeline from 2003.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen the movie. I have not read the book, but I know it's based on his novel.
Yeah.
It's directed by, it was directed by Richard Donner. The screenplay was written by Michael Crichton. It was produced by Michael Crichton.
Right.
It's Paul Walker, Gerard Butler are the two big names, but it's these group of, like, Paul Walker, I think, plays a university student, and it's this group of researchers. They somehow, and I don't remember how, because it was 2003, they end up traveling back in time to medieval France,
Back
where
in time.
another colleague has been embroiled in this temporal field of warfare and survival. So it's
Okay.
got these time travel mechanics, action, adventure stuff. It's actually kind of fun, for a Paul Walker movie, but
Is anybody fast or furious in it?
I mean, the travel through time does go quick.
Okay. Like hitting the nitrous kind of fast, like it goes quick. Okay.
But I just I remember it. I remember it because I watched it because it was Richard Donner, and
Yeah.
I love Richard Donner. I don't love Paul Walker or Gerard Butler, but I remember it was fine. It
R.I.P.
had some fun. Rest in peace,
Right.
Paul Walker.
Right.
And then do you have any others?
I just a couple, but go ahead. Didn't he write the screenplay for Twister too? Like he
was involved
screenplay.
in this. Yes, he was absolutely involved in the writing of the screenplay for Twister.
Which I didn't come to Twister until a couple of years later. The first time I went to a buddy of mine's house, actually it was his parents' house. I think we were in our early 20s, but his parents had like a huge television at the time. It was probably like a 60-inch and a crazy sound system. And so he was like, check this out. And like, it was the first time I saw what a real home theater,
Yeah.
you know, not in I don't know, in a friend's house like that, and thinking, holy shit, this is amazing. You know, and it was probably like $90,000 at the time, whatever it was. I don't know. But I came to it later, but I like Twister.
Yeah.
Years and years go by. I've seen it again. I like it more. I think I wasn't giving enough credit again because I was into the independent film.
Right. Yeah,
Anyways.
absolutely. So the only other thing that I want to talk about real quick is, and because I have a question. So he was the creator, executive producer. He wrote the pilot, and he shaped what they call in the industry the Bible for the story Bible for the early seasons of ER. George Clooney, Anthony Edwards, Juliana Margulies, that early ER. And super realistic, very fast paced, really well done, and obviously great actors, great performances.
From a person who went to medical school.
From a person who went to medical school, so he knew what he was talking about. Did he ruin dramatic television though? Because it feels like every new show, Chicago Hope, Chicago MD, every new show that comes out now that is in this world, even Pitt to some degree, which is actually a great show, but are they all just chasing what ER created? Because I mean, before ER, we had the one with William Daniels and Denzel Washington,
St. Elsewhere.
Yeah, Howie Mandel. He's in St. Elsewhere.
Is he?
That's not even a joke. I didn't make that up. He still had his curly hair.
I thought you were fooling, mister.
The whole time he has a rubber glove on his head.
He just went there for the medical supplies. They just pay him in rubber gloves and hoses.
Like I liked ER. I didn't watch it religiously, but if it was on, I watched it growing up.
It's one of those things that I respected, but I didn't care for. That it wasn't for me.
Yeah,
Sex in the City. Respect that I don't care for.
ER was on NBC, and it came on right after the TGIF lineup.
Okay.
So you would have, which is why I would have stayed and watched it, because I would have watched Seinfeld. And I would have just sat there, and because
Thursday night, not TGIF.
Not TGIF. You're right. It came on TGIF right after Seinfeld on Thursdays.
Must see TV, right?
Yes, it was must see TV.
The Cosby
Thursdays.
Show kind of kicked that whole thing off back in
it was must see TV Thursdays on NBC, and it was the show that followed Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So Seinfeld in the Pacific Coast, Seinfeld came out at 9:30, and at 10 o'clock was ER. So if I wasn't too tired or whatever, back then you had to click channels, like the guide. You had to click channels to get back to the guide. You didn't have this fancy 800 button remotes yet. So I would occasionally watch ER. Same reason I watch NYPD Blue from time to time.
Total sidetrack.
Yeah.
Mel and I, years ago, this has nothing to do with anything. Mel and I went to I don't remember where we were staying. I think we were out of the country. We were staying in some hotel, some resort, and the TV wasn't working. And so we could get it turned on, but the volume and everything else wouldn't come up. And so we called the front desk, and they're like, all the rooms are busy. We'll see if we can get another one up there. And they were fucking with something down in the lobby. And he goes, does that work? And he changed the channel from the lobby. And he goes, well, just call me when you want me to change the channel. I'm not kidding. Mel and I still laugh about that. He called, like, just if you want me to change if you like, until we can fix it, just call us. That would be like me every 3 seconds. No,
so now in the back of my head, I'm sitting here in the back of my head thinking, next time I'm at your house, I'm literally going to hold the remote in my hand and say, Amy, will you turn the channel?
Yeah. I don't even. Yeah. It was
that is hilarious.
Yeah. That it was fully serious. His reasoning. He was like, yeah, this will solve the problem. Anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't sidetrack.
But like, I feel like ER is why we got House. It's why we got The Good Doctor. It's why we got Private Practice and Grey's Anatomy and everything else that's come since.
Right.
I don't know. That's
too many.
My feeling,
in my opinion. I think there's too many. But it's like it's cop shows. It's these things.
It's it's a medical procedural versus a cop procedural. They're just the same.
So like Hill Street Blues and
21 Jump Street,
all these shows they kick this thing out, and then something like The Shield, in my opinion, comes around and then like kicks the industry in the ass, says
which is
we're doing it a little different. And I wonder if that's what the pit is.
That's kind of what the pit is. It's like, yes, you're kind of sick of it at this point, and then all of a sudden you watch this, you're like, oh crap, it can still be done well.
Yeah.
But so many people, especially in television and network,
just say on CBS, just say CBS. We know they make that stuff for not us.
Because Fox does it too.
Fox will ruin stuff, but
Fox will ruin things. CBS will take haphazard, easy stuff. NBC will just not give the show enough of a chance, even though they generally have better material. They all have something wrong with them, which is why so many go to FX.
And ABC requires every show to go to Disneyland at least once a season.
Yeah, they do. The family goes on a trip.
The hospital staff's like, let's go to Disneyland and have our conference.
Let's close down the hospital and all go to Disney for someone's wedding.
That's isn't product placement. But anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, that's all of. There is one more, but I know you like this one better than me.
Well, so we just barely started to touch the discussion, but there was the movie The 13th Warrior, which is based on a Mike Crichton book, Eaters of the Dead. It God dang it, what's his name? Benicio del
Antonio
Banderas. Anyways, I wasn't a huge Antonio Banderas fan at the time, even though I loved the Robert Rodriguez stuff and all of those things. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, he started making some rom-com-y stuff, I think, for a little while. But I really liked The 13th Warrior. I own it. It's actually on a short list of stuff that I want to show Mel so she can check it out. There's some elements of it I really liked, even though, anyways, it's almost entirely unknown people and Antonio Banderas.
And Omar
But
Sharif.
the gist of it is this guy, he is sent on a pilgrimage, and he ends up in this Nordic tribe in like 984. It's like 1,000 years ago or something. And he ends up there with them trying to, I think, get directions. I don't remember exactly, but he's mixed in with these Vikings, and they accept him to hang out, no problems, while they're doing all their stuff. And so he just is quietly in the corner. The things I really liked about it, I'll just little spoiler alert, but at one point he doesn't understand anything they're saying for like the first third of the movie, and there are not subtitles. There's no subtitles, no nothing.
Yeah, you're just as lost as
you're just as lost as he is. And then at some point they start showing that he's paying a lot of attention to them. And I don't know how much time had passed, I don't remember, but I think it's weeks or months. But he actually starts to pick up their language, and he actually says something. From that moment on, then there's subtitles and everything. And then I think they just start doing it in English at some point. But it's mystical, it's magical. Like there's an evil sorcerer or some witch in a cave. And
for those that don't know, or the literature person out there, Eaters of the Dead was a retelling of the Beowulf and Grendel story.
Yeah,
that's what so that's kind of the story that they're following. A
clean cut, a stripped down version.
Yes, because Beowulf and Grendel is a very long, epic story, but yeah, you liked it. I think I need to give it a retry. I think that, just thinking back, the reason I didn't like it is because at the time I didn't like being lost. A third of the movie, you're right, I felt lost. And then shortly after it came out, Omar Sharif, in an interview, and I pulled the quote here, he said, "After my small role in the 13th Warrior, I said to myself, let us stop this nonsense. These meal tickets that we do because it pays well. I thought, unless I find a stupendous film that I love and that makes me want to leave home to do, I will stop. Bad pictures are very humiliating. I was really sick. It is terrifying to have to do the dialogue from bad scripts, to face a director who does not know what he's doing in a film so bad that it's not even worth exploring."
It's John McTiernan.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
like, he's not a
hack.
No,
he's not a. So that
Last Action Hero, Die Hard.
So I remember watching it. I didn't love being lost for a third of it, and then having to play catch up once we understand. And then reading this in an Entertainment Weekly or something at work one day, because I was at Blockbuster by now. And I'm reading this and I'm like, oh, well, screw that movie. So I just decided it was dumb. From that,
how about
I need to give it another.
If you're gonna give something another try, I actually
start with White Chicks.
Do White Chicks, but I'm gonna have Mel and I watch 13th Warrior soon. I have the DVD up there ready to go, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't hold up. Maybe I misremember, but I do remember distinctly thinking I wouldn't like it, and I did.
Right. Because so it has one thing going for it, one thing not going for it, right? It's based on a Michael Crichton book, so it has that going for it.
Yeah, but
it's got sword fighting, so it's got it going against it.
Sword and sorcery stuff isn't always like fencing, all stuff. You know, there are exceptions to that. By the way, The Princess Bride was on the other day. TCM. I think it was the first time TCM had put The Princess Bride on. It's never been on TCM before.
Yeah.
And in the intro, Ben Mankiewicz interviews and talks to Rob Reiner about it. And I got a little teared up, a little verklempt.
Yeah.
You know? Just listening to this guy. And what an absolutely useless, tragic waste of, it's just fucking sucks, man.
Absolutely.
Catherine O'Hara the same, but his is unnatural.
Catherine O'Hara, absolutely tragic and sad, but not there's something different because of what happened to Rob Reiner and his wife.
And thinking about it in that situation. By the way, now that you sent me the Andy Dick story, fuck that guy. Like I didn't necessarily know all that. So fuck killed Phil Hartman.
Yes. So for Dave mentions last week on our last episode, I mentioned watching In the Army Now, and all I could think was how much better this movie would be if Andy Dick had died and Phil Hartman lived. Yeah. Because the story, as the story goes, it was at Christmas a couple of months before the tragedy of Phil Hartman's wife killing him, and then
really soon.
Yeah, it was within 3 months. It was that December at a party. Andy Dick gave her cocaine. She had
brought a bunch of coke to their annual Christmas party,
and she had been sober for a while. She had dealt with
14 years,
a long time. So, and he reintroduced cocaine into her life. She spiraled very quickly. Tragedy.
one of the greatest comedic
one of the
actors,
funniest
impressions,
men
everything else.
I've ever had the privilege of watching on the screen.
Of this generation. It's insane.
And so yeah, I do think that it is Andy Dick's fault. I understand.
Yeah.
Like,
so does John Lovitz.
John
right?
Lovitz wasn't and John Lovitz is the one I heard it from, but he's not the
Yeah.
only one to have said it.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
But that's where
I think there's the quote of him calling him out in front of people, like at an event
on the set
something.
of News Radio.
That's what it was.
Did it on set of News Radio.
So anyway, that's not fun. Rob Reiner, it's also very sad, but I love The Princess Bride so much. It is
a good movie.
I've talked about it too many times. I don't need to go into it. It is such an amazing movie. It's lightning in a bottle. You could not recreate that. Peter Falk is amazing. Little Fred Savage.
Little Freddie.
Coming straight off the Wonder Years. Like, dude, killing it. Everybody in it is so good. Yeah. And it's only Rob Reiner's like third movie, I think, right?
He had done Sure Thing. This is Spinal Tap for sure.
And he said in the interview he was doing post-production on Stand By Me. So it was his fourth movie. By William Goldberg, the guy who wrote the original book. Goldman, excuse me. Who wrote the original book, and it's huge. The guy has written. Look at the other stuff he's written.
So just for people that know, he won an Academy Award for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Like, this guy, William Goldman is Hollywood royalty when it comes to writers.
Yeah. And
similar to Michael Crichton.
I guess everybody had tried to make The Princess Bride before, and they kept having different versions that weren't working and all these things like that. And so Rob Reiner went. Some probably got the meeting because of his influence with his dad and who he is.
Yes.
And I guess the very first thing he said to him when he opened the door, as he looks at Rob Reiner and he says, The Princess Bride is the best thing I've ever done, and I want it on my tombstone. What do you think you can do with it? I guess is literally what he said to him first thing.
So, and for those who don't know, William Goldman, this book was so important to him because he wrote it for his daughters. It was the bedtime story he created for his own daughters. This was important to him. It had to be done right.
Yeah.
And that's the man he trusted.
And they pulled it off, man. I didn't watch the whole thing because I've seen it 200,000. I know it verbatim every
Have
inflection.
Fun storm in the castle.
But anyways, it's such an amazing movie. Rob Reiner, man.
But yeah. So I think Rob Reiner, much like we did Michael Crichton today, we did Bill Murray in the past, I think we should just go down the rabbit hole that is Rob Reiner.
Yeah, in honor of
Rob Reiner and Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Just they don't have a lot together, but they are foundational, and we should go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and there's the mix of things, the genres that he's done and stuff like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's done, and he never did anything bad. He did some things that weren't maybe my favorite, but there was never a bad. Never a misstep.
He had a string of movies, if you looked him up, that is bananas. You're like, holy shit, his first 7?
Sure Thing.
All the way up to
This is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men, yeah.
Misery.
Yeah.
I don't have the right order, but that's at least his first 7.
Yeah. And literally insane. Every one of those is a classic. That's coming out of the gate, like the
every
shot,
one of them rewatchable right now,
and quotable.
Yeah,
let's do that. Let's talk next week about Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner, it is. Stay tuned for that, everybody. This has been another episode of Couch Critics. Make sure you check us out on the socials at Couch Critics RRT on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Send us an email, therealrealtalk@gmail.com, because we are a Real Talk podcast. And if you like anything about this, if you are enjoying our dives into just the different corners of cinema, maybe the less seen corners of cinema, which is where we try to hang out, make sure you leave us a review. Give us that 5-star wherever you listen to podcasts. Let us know how we're doing, and let us know what topics you would like us to cover in the future. But Dave, why do we like these reviews?
I mean, validation of perseverance, motivation,
all the things,
all of it.
Just
tell us you like us, and if you don't like us, tell us that too. You know,
it doesn't
and
hurt
let
our
us know if
feelings.
the interviews are
Yes, and
playing
let
for
us
other
know
people.
what you think about the interviews, and if you're a creator, if a writer, a content creator, a podcaster, a filmmaker, an actor, and you want to come on the show, send me an email,
reach out.
realtalk@gmail.com. We are open to have just about anyone, as long as you're not doing Waterhole number 3, the remake. Let's stay away from that.
I don't want to talk about Game of Thrones if I can help it. So
Please
just throwing that out there.
So how are we going to close out today, Dave?
Well, thanks everybody for being here. It's been a pleasure as always. It's a joy. It's the best part of my week. But I guess that's all from the couch this week. Agree or disagree, we do love it all.
And here at the Couch Critics, we're never going to yuck your yum. We'll see you next time.